You don't have to wait till tournament time. We've got your intense rivalry, the big game atmosphere, the Titletown Circus today. The nation's only unbeaten team, #1 Duke, led by Player of the Year candidate Lindsey Harding, battles the defending national champion and 6th-ranked Maryland Terrapins. And this will be the final home game for Maryland senior Shader On. The women take center court. Duke at Maryland. The tip-off is moments away. The intensity is now.
Welcome to ACC College Hoops and a packed Comcast Center in College Park, Maryland. #1 and undefeated Duke in town to take on #6 Maryland. A rematch of a game from about a month ago. Down in Cameron, Duke won that one by 19 points. Beth Mowins along with Debbie Antonelli. And Debbie, Lindsey Harding had a huge day on that afternoon. So job #1 for the Terps will be guarding Harding.
Well, Harding had 28 points the first time these two teams met, and she could get into the paint and score in transition anytime she wants. So the key is to keep her in front. Right here, you've got to get over the screen because Harding can turn the corner, and when she does, she's going inside to score. Because she's turned the corner on Maryland time after time, now they come out and cheat. Bales slips. It's a terrific piece of execution, and you've got to keep her in front or she will do this all game like she did last time these two teams met in Cameron. Now on the other side, the key for Maryland is to get Crystal Langhorne touches where she can be effective, either scoring the basketball or setting up her teammates. 11 assists total in the game for Maryland the last time these two teams met. That is their season low. They are a team that has 5 players in double figures, but it all starts with Langhorne on the inside.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Duke. We mentioned Lindsey Harding in the first matchup between these two. Center Alison Bales had nearly a triple-double, one of her best outings in a Duke uniform for head coach Gail Goestenkors in her 15th season. Only Gina Auriemma and Pat Summitt have a better winning percentage in college basketball than Gail Goestenkors does. The starting lineup for the Maryland Terrapins includes Christy Tolliver, the top 3-point shooter in the nation this year. But in the first matchup, she was 0 for 5 against the Blue Devils. Head coach Brenda Fries in her 5th season. The wins have gone up every year that she has been here in College Park, capped, of course, by the national championship, beating Duke in overtime last spring. The largest crowd ever to watch an ACC basketball game on hand. Maryland has the top 5 attendance marks in conference history. They are 0-5 in those matchups. Here is Jen Hildreth.
Well, Beth, Shader On, one of the players being honored here tonight for Maryland. She is a senior, of course. And, the first time she stepped into this building, she did so wearing a hard hat because the Comcast Center was still under construction. That's pretty symbolic of how influential Shea has been in building up this Maryland women's basketball program. Beth, you mentioned the crowd. Just think about this. Shea's first game in this building was played in front of 683 fans. Now tonight, 99 wins and a national championship later, playing in front of a sold-out crowd of nearly 18,000. And if you talk to Brenda Fries, she'll tell you that this following and the success of this program started with Shader On.
And her classmate, Jen Orly Norez, will get the start today on Senior Day. They are the 2 members of this senior class, the winningest class in Maryland history. Alison Bales will jump it up for Duke in the black rose jerseys. 27-0, the best record ever for an ACC school.
One of the most balanced offenses in the country. Maryland, 5 players in double figures, over 80 points a game against one of the top defenses in the nation in Duke.
Blue Devils miss on the first attempt. Marissa Coleman finding Norez. She'll put the shot up. And could that be a good omen for the Terps today?
Well, why not? On senior night, Orly Norez has not played a whole lot of minutes in her career, but she's taken advantage of it early.
Harding to Bales. Duke looking for the back door, and it's knocked out of bounds by Maryland.
What you might see out of Maryland this time, Beth, versus the last matchup is a little bit more softer pressure. Not allow Duke to score in the paint. Try to take Bales away. Try to take the dribble drive away and force the Blue Devils to the perimeter.
Maryland got knocked out early by the dribble penetration of Lindsey Harding in that first matchup. And the foul called before the shot. And that will be on Christy Tolliver. They just could not figure out a way to defend Harding in that earlier matchup.
Well, you have to turn her into an east and west kind of player. If you let her go north and south, she's too dangerous and too quick.
Juanita Smith, no good. Marissa Coleman, one of the top rebounding guards in the nation, snags that one.
Already a triple-double on her resume is Marissa Coleman. And a strong finisher in the side.
Duke busts out with the basketball. This is where they are at their best in transition, and the pull-up for Lindsey Harding, who has been spectacular in their big games this year.
You can't just let her drive down the middle of the floor like that. You have to get some ball pressure on her early. Maryland's going to have to sprint the court tonight because they're going to have to get back and protect the paint and then fan out and find the shooters in transition.
Tolliver to Norez. Christie will use the screen, looking for three. She was 0 for 5 from downtown in the first meeting, and she hits on her first attempt of the night.
That is a shooter with confidence right there, coming off that screen, looking for her offense.
50% this year from beyond the arc for Christy Tolliver.
And she's 10% percentage points more than last year outside the arc. The best in the country at shooting the three.
Bales, mid-range off the mark. Terrific box out by Maryland. Tolliver to Norez in transition. Knocked out of bounds by Weiner. Brenda Fries, back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes she assigned. And another one coming in next year that, depending on which scouting service you look at, is ranked number 1 or 2 in the country. As they will stock up Duran and Norez, the only players they will lose next year.
Coleman keeping her dribble alive, knowing the traps are coming. And see, with Gail Goestenkors' club, you do not know when the traps are coming or where. You have to be able to handle. All 5 players have to be able to see the entire floor.
They've got 3 players coming in next year. All of them will play in the WBCA High School All-America game. Another terrific class for Duke. Tolliver around and out. Abby Weiner hustles and throws it off with Norez. Duke basketball.
The other thing you have to do is take care of the basketball and not turn it over in the live situation. Duke doesn't get enough credit for their team speed. They are very good at turning you over and attacking on the other end. If you can make them play this pace, you can slow them down.
A third of their scoring come from points off of turnovers this year. Duran trying to keep her in front. Another pull-up. Lindsey Harding 2 for 2 off the dribble.
That's good defense. But that is a heck of a play right there by Harding. The medium-range jump shot, her ability to elevate with the shot clock running down and making a play.
Backdoor, broken up. Weiner to Harding, running out in front. Will pull up and hit another one. Lindsey Harding has firmly inserted herself in the National Player of the Year discussion.
There's no question. I mean, she has become one of the biggest stories in the ACC this season. Her improvement every year as a player.
Tolliver handling out top. Duran off the mark. Bales with the rebound. Again, the quick outlet to the Blue Devils on the run.
Harding always looking to attack. Head up, eyes on the rim.
Juanita Smith forced up the 3, and the foul will be called on the rebound.
Abby Weiner leads this Blue Devil team in scoring, has yet to get a field goal attempt. But Harding has been the one that's been able to be so effective scoring in transition.
Carrem Gay called for the foul. That's her first. She will check out. Joy Cheat will come on. Duke has gotten solid contributions from its freshman class in the last couple of weeks, particularly in the scoring column. Marissa Coleman, another triple.
Assist Langhorne. You have to react to Langhorne basketball. She shoots at 72% from the floor, and that sets up their perimeter game. When she gets good touches, it sets up the shooters.
Cheek around and out. Langhorne with the rebound. 3-on-2 for Maryland. Coleman out in front. Stepped on the end line. And they'll turn it back over to Duke. A hot start at a sold-out Comcast Center. Maryland leading Duke by a deuce. Undefeated Duke in front of a sold-out Comcast Center. They are down early to the Maryland Terrapins, the defending national champions. Beth Mowins along with Debbie Antonelli here at Comcast. A rematch of a Duke win earlier this year at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Lindsey Harding was the story then. She's the story early on.
Well, you've got to pick her up in transition. It's pretty simple. She can do this. Pull up, shoot the medium range jump shot, get by the defense and score. Very aggressive at the point guard position and looking to attack. That's some pretty good jump shooting right there. Maryland's got to get Duke into a half-court game right now.
She's got all 6 of their points. The rest of the team 0 for 5. The Terps have hit a couple of three-pointers early on. They have the 2-point advantage. Harper scores inside. The assist from Shea Duran on senior night. One of the cornerstones of this Maryland program.
In the top 10 in 11 different categories in this program.
She is one of the architects. When she came here, the team had a 10-win season the year before. And they've gotten better every year. And Lindsey Harding continues her run. She's got every field goal for this Duke team.
Only one has been contested, and that was when the shot clock was running down. She is making plays and putting herself on the national scene, no question.
5 for 5. She's got all 11 Blue Devil points. They lead by 1. Duran out to Coleman. Langhorne has had a couple of touches inside, and she's been able to kick out to the open shooter. Duran, her first bucket.
2 on the shot clock. Coleman with her strength steps through the trap and looks weak side. Duke's rotations are going to be to the strong side when they trap. You have to be able to see and skip it and see the weak side of the floor where you'll get open jump shots.
Harding with Duran on her defensively. Abby Weiner. Now Wanisha Smith using a couple of screens. Smith hits for 3. She has vastly improved her outside shooting this year.
I mean, should we be surprised that these two teams are lighting it up so early? I mean, they're both so good on the offensive end and have such balanced offensive attacks. Both in the top 10 in scoring in the nation.
Big day for Wanisha Smith, who grew up nearby, has a lot of family and friends here. And Maryland goes inside. Crystal Langhorne with her first bucket. Langhorne on pace to set a new NCAA field goal percentage record at nearly 73%. And Lindsey Harding, are you kidding me? 6 from 6.
Are you serious? I mean, she's not waiting any time to take over the game, is she? She's not waiting. She's taking it over right now.
Duran back to Harper. Tied up by Joy Cheek. And the ball will stay with Maryland. Let's check in with Jen Hildreth.
Beth, it's easy to see why Wake Forest coach Mike Peterson called Lindsey Harding the most dominant player in the ACC. And you consider she did most of her damage against Maryland in the last game, driving to the lane and beating them in transition. They prepared for that this game. Now she's pulling up and shooting the jumper. Gail Goestenkors says, we've exceeded expectations. She's the main reason.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, Lindsey Harding has improved as an individual every single year, but she's also improved her leadership and taken over this team. Gail Goestenkors has lost a Kodak All-American 6 consecutive years. In 6 consecutive years, they've won 30-plus games. Very impressive, and Harding is the reason why they're so successful this year.
Harper got the block, and now Sade Wiley-Gatewood, who checked into the lineup, kicks it out to Tolliver, no good. Weiner with the rebound. Wiley-Gatewood comes on and goes to the point. Tolliver scoots over to the 2.
Harding has three-point shooting ability, but she's much better inside the arc with her pull-up jump shots. So you got to keep her in front.
Joy,
help off of her.
Joy Cheek, the freshman from Charlotte, knocks it down. Another player who grew up playing in this area before moving down to North Carolina. Tremendous high school and AAU talent in this area. Langhorne finds herself alone, then quickly draws a crowd. Coleman looking for three. No good.
Look how Bales is dominating the glass and making the quick outlet.
Juanita Smith takes it inside. No good. The scramble. Cheek and Harper, and Duke will get it with the possession arrow. Under 12 to go here in the first half. Duke, behind the play of Lindsey Harding, have the three-point lead. Lead here at Maryland, 11:26 to go. Some other scores from around the Atlantic Coast Conference. North Carolina State wins again on the road. That's 7 of their last 8 as their emotional roller coaster continues. North Carolina a winner. Florida State ekes out the win over Virginia, and Boston College takes care of business against Wake Forest. But NC State now firmly ensconced in 4th place in the league. They upset North Carolina on Friday on an evening when Kay Yow had the court at Reynolds Coliseum named after her.
5 seniors scored in double figures, and they knocked off #2 North Carolina. It was the perfect storm for NC State. Senior night, the court, and knocking off their arch rival.
We'll have the highlights from that emotional evening at halftime today. Joy Cheek again down on the deck. Jade Perry has checked into the lineup. This time it will go to Maryland. We've already had 7 lead changes. An incredible start for Lindsey Harding. She is 6 for 6 with 14 points for Duke. It's a balanced Maryland attack. They've got 5 different players who have scored. But Crystal Langhorne still without a field goal.
Duke showing zone. Both coaches like to change it up off timeouts.
Langhorne, Duran, and Tolliver are all out right now for Maryland.
And without Tolliver on the floor, the best three-point shooter, it's a terrific time to go to the zone for Duke.
Perry fading away, hits it off the backboard.
Over 6'7", Alison Bales, the top shot blocker in the nation.
And a big old smile on Gail Goestenkors' face as she just shakes her head watching that one go in. 10.5 to play here in the first half. Duke by 1, looking to stay unbeaten. Terrific help from Coleman on the block.
Well, we've seen a lot of stuff already in this game. This is fantastic. Watch Coleman come from the weak side, get a piece of that from Joy Cheek.
Harding now has Wiley Gatewood on her defensively. Abby Wayner, she's looking for her first points of the half as well. That one won't go.
Now, you mentioned Harding 6 for 6, Beth, as they scramble for the basketball. The rest of the Blue Devil team is 2 for 11.
Terrific hustle. Ashley Newman on the deck to get it, and then Coleman out of control in transition as Harding takes the charge.
If you're Maryland and you want to knock off the top-ranked team in the country, you have to make all the non-stat plays, Beth. You have to screen. It's details. You've got to communicate, and you've got to convert when you've got numbers in transition the other way. You get a loose basketball, you get a 50-50 ball, you've got to make something happen on the offensive end with it.
You've also got to feed off the emotion of this day, this crowd. And Debbie, you had a chance to visit their locker room pregame and saw some interesting sights there.
I did. I got to go in and see Brenda Freese and watch her preparation before the game. I got to go in the locker room to see Gail Goestenkors and watch her write on the board and get the details done for her team and what she expects. Very interesting stuff, but it's all top secret, so I can't tell you everything I saw.
Thought you were going to let us behind the scenes with you.
That's pretty good access, isn't it?
I wasn't able to do that. I had to stay out here.
Right, you weren't allowed in there.
Another offensive foul taken by Duke. This is Alison Bales drawing the charge. It'll be on Harper. That's her first.
Back-to-back losses of an offensive possession. You see Harper lowers the shoulder, and that's what the officials are going to call. You mean 6'7" Alison Bales was able to move her feet enough to draw that charge? Wow.
Bales there defensively. The crowd disagrees with the call. Harding off the crossover. Mitchell to Mitch won't go. And over the back foul called on Bridgette Mitchell. A couple of freshmen out there on the floor right now for Duke.
And Brenda Fries is going to try Ashley Newman on the Lindsey Harding matchup right now. We've seen a couple different players try to guard her. And you know what? It takes a team effort because you can't stop her with one right now. We haven't seen anybody from Maryland be able to slow her down. And we didn't see anybody from Maryland slow her down the first time they met.
28 points in the first meeting. She's got 14 here in the first 11 minutes of this one. Terps looking for the lead. Tolliver. Triple team on Langhorne. Good ball movement by Maryland. Duran lost it.
Yeah, out of control, and Maryland is doing such a good job of moving the basketball.
Foul is going to be on the Terps. That's going to be on Shea Duran, and that is her first. Duran was in foul trouble in the first meeting and saw limited action.
And she only played 19 minutes in that outing.
Weiner, the deep three. The rest of the Blue Devils are now 2 of 14 here in the first half.
Because all the other shots have come on the perimeter. They have not had a baseline presence. They haven't thrown the ball into the block with anybody's back to the basket to score. It's exactly what Brenda Fries wants.
And that is the second foul on Christy Tolliver. And she will check out. Wiley Gatewood back on. And the Blue Devils turn it over.
That time, that was Sade Wiley Gatewood denying one pass away on Harding. They have really tried to lock her up now, especially in the half court. And when the pace slows down, because it was so fast early because of Harding, that's what Maryland wants right now. Just try to get back in the flow and in the rhythm of what they like to do offensively.
Bales will check out. Smith comes on. It is a sleek, aerodynamic group of Blue Devils out there right now as they'll try and speed up the pace a little bit. With a smaller unit on the floor.
Well, when Bales comes out, you look small. I mean, they're pretty small even with Bales because she's 6'7". The rest of them are kind of small.
Perry. Let's see if Maryland will take advantage, trying to hustle it down low. Newman to Perry. 15-footer. Last touch by Juanisha Smith out of bounds. Timeout at the Comcast Center. 19-18. Duke with the lead over Maryland. Under 8 to go in the half. Over 17,000 Terrapin fans in the house. They've got Duke surrounded over there behind the Blue Devil bench. Duke right now, though, with the lead, and they are looking to stay unbeaten. Maryland still fighting for perhaps a 2 seed because North Carolina still has a date with Duke.
Well, NC State has 1 game left, Florida State 2. The top 4 teams in the ACC get that first round bye in the ACC tournament. NC State has the tiebreaker with their win over Florida State.
And Carolina has the tiebreaker over Maryland head-to-head. Duke has not yet clinched a share of the conference, by the way. And they can do that outright with a win here today.
It's interesting on the national scene. You know, Tennessee has a 2-game lead over LSU. They got a little cushion there. Connecticut has already clinched a share of the Big East title. The Big 12 has got, it was a 4-team race on the top as of yesterday. Today, now it's back to 2 teams at the top for first place.
Carrem Gay hits from 17. The other big news today, Michigan State a winner at Ohio State. And that would certainly help perhaps a team like Maryland in search of a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Duran responds with 2 of her own.
The skip in transition. You've got to space it out. You know the traps are coming. You've got to be able to reverse the basketball.
Maryland trying to make Harding give it up. They forced the turnover. Lindsey Harding had 14 points in the first 7 minutes. She doesn't have any in the last 10 minutes.
We talk about the skip pass and it being so critical. Watch right here. Coleman's going to skip it all the way to the other side of the floor. Look where the Duke defense is. 4 players strong side, 1 on the back side. Nice screen by Jade Perry. It opens up Shea Duran for a great look.
Maryland again looking for the lead. Harper from Langhorne, and she's fouled. And we will have our first free throw attempt of the game. Laura Harper will head to the line. She's 69%. Last year's Final Four most outstanding player. Had double-doubles in the semifinal win and the final.
I love to call Laura Harper Plan B, because Plan A is Crystal Langhorne. Everything you do defensively is centered around trying to limit her touches. That's why Maryland has to get her the basketball, because it'll make the Duke defense collapse. And when they help post to post, Harper is a recipient on the other side of weak side rebounding and face-up jumpers from 10 feet.
Harper gets 1 of 2. She's coming off a double-double in their win down at Florida State. In their last outing, they've won 4 in a row.
Sade Wiley-Daywood got over both those screens that time.
Harding looking to create. That's her first miss of the day, but the offensive rebound for Duke. Carrem Gay knocks down another mid-range jumper.
And Maryland giving up uncontested looks right here. Their first row of defense is good, but if they have to rotate, they are giving up some open shots, and that was off a missed rebound.
Duke has the lead right now without any points from Bales or Weiner yet here in the first half. Langhorne keeps it alive. Crystal has yet to score for Maryland.
Not even taking a shot yet, but she never forces. She lets the offense come because she's got plenty of help on the outside that can score in Marissa Coleman.
Coleman's got 5 off that pretty spin move. The shooting for both clubs here in the first half. Gay trying to back in on Langhorne. Won't go. Snapped out by Bales. It's one of those non-stat plays you're talking about.
Good hustle and good recognition by Alison.
Anisha Smith looking for the screen. All the way in with the left hand.
All these Duke guards turn the corner and they're looking to get to the paint. They're looking to score around the screen, eyes up on the rim.
5 now for Anisha Smith. Unattended at the elbow. Duke will give her that shot. Rebounded by Wanisha Smith. Blue Devils will look to push. Weiner. Gay. Terrific fill of the lane for Carrem Gay. Assist Abby Weiner.
See, Bales comes in the game. They dominate the glass. They outlet, rebound, and go.
They're ready to push again.
You got to get up on Harding faster than that.
Carrem Gay, the lob inside. Bales. Offensive foul called on Alison Bales. That's her first.
Gail Goestenkors does not like it. Watch the high-low game. Bales 2 feet in the paint, catches. All she's got to do is turn at the rim. She's 6'7". She becomes a 6'1" player when she lowers her shoulder and dips the basketball. She's 6'7" on the defensive end. She needs to be 6'7" on the offensive end.
Duke forces another turnover, but then Weiner gives it right back. Langhorne hustling back defensively.
Duke has been in this zone a lot.
Langhorne gets isolated on Bales, and Allison got the hands on her. And that is the second foul now on Alison Bales.
See, it's great spacing, a great three-point shooting team. Spreads out that zone and leaves some penetrating passing angles into the post.
Duke with the lead over Maryland by 4. Head coach Gail Goestenkors talking about her club and the defensive effort.
I think it's a combination of having the talent and the athleticism, the quickness, having the smarts to do the right thing at the right time, and then having the desire to be successful and say, we are going to be a great defensive team.
Well, they're a great defensive team, all right. They know that they can trap. They know what the scheme is. They all understand what their jobs are. They play with great effort. They deny, they dictate, they disrupt, they do all those things, and that allows them to go down the other end and score layups.
Just 2 baskets for Maryland in the last 7 minutes. 5 turnovers committed. Duke has scored 7 points off of those turnovers, and they get another one with the defense.
And Lindsey Harding is a candidate for National Defensive Player of the Year as well, Beth. She sets the tone out front with her ball pressure. I think what's interesting about Duke's defense is that you look at Harding and you say, you know, she doesn't have the most steals on her team. Abby Weiner has the most. But it's because Weiner's playing on the wing, and because Harding gives such great ball pressure, she allows Weiner, with her smarts and her ability to read angles, to get out and anticipate and make all those steals.
The pass inside to Harper. And the foul's called on Joy Cheek. Let's check in with Jen.
Trying to stop Crystal Langhorne. That's been the focal point of Duke's defense from when I talked to Abby Weiner, and clearly they're doing a good job of that so far, forcing other people to score for Maryland. They know Maryland has a lot of weapons, but they believe that Langhorne is where everything runs through.
Well, there's no question Langhorne is in the pivot. She is the most important offensive player they have because it sets everything else up. She hasn't even taken a field goal yet. She's got 1 assist and 4 rebounds. But that doesn't mean that she's not having an impact on what's going on with Maryland offensively.
Langhorne, Weiner, and Bales are all scoreless in this first half. Speaks to the depth of these two teams. And Carrem Gay is having herself a first half. 8 points now, and the steal for Duke. Harding, count the basket, foul on Duran.
Steal, score, steal, score. That's the mentality for the Blue Devils.
Terrific read by Weiner to get the pick. And Duke's on an 8-0 run, and that's the second foul now on Duran. So Duran and Tolliver with 2 each in the first half. Shea will come off. Marissa Coleman's back out there. The 2 starting guards for Maryland out right now.
Duke forces 21 turnovers a game, Beth. They get 12 steals off those 21 turnovers. That's layups. That's what you mentioned before. A third of their points come off turnovers. It's a very well-designed defensive scheme.
Starting off the miss, but she's got 16 first-half points for Duke. Wiley Gatewood finds Coleman in the corner. Rebound to Duke. Look at how quickly they get out and go. Weiner off the mark. They're attempting to find Smith on the break. Pac-10 basketball coming up after our game here in College Park. USC and Arizona State. We've got 2.5 to go here in the first half. Duke unbeaten, 27-0, number 1 in the nation. Maryland at number 6, 25-3 on the year. And Langhorne muscles it up and in, her first field goal of the day.
Patience, poise, catch, face. Look at what you got, and then take a strong dribble to the rim.
Terps are at 55% from the floor here in the first half. Carrem Gay, no good. Joy Cheek, weak side. Harding on the line. Lindsey Harding, 2 more. 18 first half points for the All-America candidate. Timeout, Maryland.
And Brenda Freese is going to say, do you guys not know that Lindsey Harding is on fire? You can't lose her. And you've got to continue to establish Langhorne. Watch Langhorne right here. She's going to flash to the block, and she's going to catch it. Now watch the defense. Duke does not bring the double. Why? Because she doesn't put the ball on the floor. As soon as she puts the ball on the floor, they want to bring the dribble or bring the double. But because she's so strong going to the basket, she can finish. Off the offensive rebound, it's a breakdown defensively. When you give up that offensive rebound, Duke is going to look to score quickly. And Harding, what a first half for the senior.
That's 7 offensive rebounds for Duke to just 1 for Maryland, and they've got 8 second chance points. And Lindsey Harding has 18 here in the first half. And Debbie, when you talk about the State Farm Wade Trophy National Player of the Year candidates, the list is
it's getting
dwindling, and
yes.
Harding's name is right up there alongside what, Candace Parker of
yes.
Tennessee,
Courtney Paris, Oklahoma. And then I'm going to put it right there with those 3, because those are the 3 best players in the country right now. And I don't think one player is going to win all the national awards. I think it's going to be split up some.
Wiley Gatewood into the lane. She and Newman getting extended minutes in the first half. Both Tolliver and Duran out with 2 first half fouls.
My mid-season National Player of the Year, early January, before conference play began, was Crystal Langhorne. Maryland was undefeated and #1 in the country.
Harding, the pull-up, and it goes. She juked a couple of defenders. 20 first-half points for the senior from Houston. She's 9 of 10 from the floor. Duke up by 8. Coleman, baseline. Another skip pass. Offensive rebound. Coleman got it.
Maryland has to get on the old boards.
Last year's ACC Rookie of the Year. 9 straight games in double digits for Coleman, trying to pick up the slack.
Duke running their weave out top.
Joy Cheek. Offensive foul. Harper draws the charge.
Watch Cheek right here, puts the ball on the floor. I thought it was a travel actually before the foul. Harper drawing, how are these big girls drawing charges out on the perimeter?
Final half minute of this first half. Under 10 on the shot clock for Maryland.
Maryland standing around too much.
Wiley Gatewood won't go. Chance for Duke. And Gail Goestenkors wants the timeout to set up one final shot here. Who do you suppose is going to get it?
I wonder who. I'll tell you what they might run. It's a play that they love to run for Lindsey Harding. They put their 2 post players on the elbow, and then she just drives her defender inside the screens. She's been turning the corner on Maryland all game. Let's see if Maryland might show up in a little zone here to change it up for the last possession.
Lindsey Harding, 20 points on 9 of 10 shooting. They have this lead without any points from Weiner and Bales, and she is already the all-time assist leader in Duke history, last year's ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
And see, none of that has anything to do with offense. It's all about passing, steals, and then being a defensive player of the year in the league, which she's probably going to be again this year in the ACC. What she's really gotten very good at is being able to score off the bounce in the medium range, being able to knock down the 3, being a leader, distributing the basketball. All those things are good.
Mitchell, the pass picked off. On the run, Newman trying to beat the buzzer. Off-balance shot doesn't go. Halftime at the Comcast Center. Duke 35, Maryland 29. Lindsey Harding 20 points in the first half to lead the Blue Devils in their quest to stay unbeaten. And let's check in now with Jen and Gail Goestenkors.
Coach, Lindsey Harding obviously going off in this first half, but what else do you think has been key to your lead right now?
Lindsey Harding. I mean, she's just taken it upon herself to, be very aggressive with the basketball. This is a great basketball game. I think both teams are playing extremely well on the offensive end. I don't think either team's playing bad defense. I think we're both just really on offense.
How important is it to get Alison involved inside?
It's really important. We have to have an inside game, and we haven't had that as of yet.
All right, thanks very much. Beth, back to you.
Thank you, Jen. Well, how about both teams shooting better than 50% in this first half? But Harding, head and shoulders above the rest, 9 for 10 through the first 20 minutes. Duke's got them. Coming out of the locker room, Brenda Freese stopped to chat with Jen Hildreth.
Coach, both teams playing very well offensively first half. Defensively, though, how do you slow down Lindsey Harding?
I was going to ask you the same question. My goodness, she gets my vote for Player of the Year. She's the best player in the country, and she's obviously showing it in the first half, and we got to find a way to contain her better.
Well, offensively, Crystal told us she was going to be more aggressive in this game. Just 1 for 1 so far. Do you need to get her more involved?
Well, that's a credit to Duke's defense. They do a tremendous job double teaming, triple teaming. It's the kicks out with our guard play that we got to step up and make shots, in that situation.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Good luck second half. Beth?
Thanks a lot, Jen. Duke in black with the basketball. Smith, Harding, Bales, Weiner, and Gay will start out this second half. Bales and Weiner scoreless in that first half of play. Carrem Gay, though, having a terrific night. She's got 10 now on 5 of 7 shooting. Maryland will counter in the white jerseys with Tolliver, Harper, Langhorne, Duran, and Coleman, Tolliver, and Duran limited minutes with foul trouble in that first half. Crystal Langhorne, just one field goal attempt. She's got 2 points.
Duke playing zone again to start the second half. Gail Goestenkors must like the rhythm, or lack of rhythm, that she's forced for Maryland.
And right out of the locker room, Maryland goes to Langhorne. This is inside.
And I'm expecting Alison Bales to get touches on the other end as well. Neither team was able to establish any sort of play on the baseline.
Marissa Coleman, the leading scorer for the Terps, with 7 in that first half. Here is Bales with the touch.
Both Bales and Langhorne are good passers, and they set things up.
They rattled that one in and out. Maryland's got numbers on the run. Tolliver blocked by Bales. And last touch by the Terps.
And Tolliver has to let things come. She's got to get refocused right here. This is not a good decision in transition, and Bales hustling down makes the block, the top shot blocker in the nation.
Boy, does that take you back to the national championship game last year when Tolliver hit the 3 over Bales to send it to overtime. Harding missed in traffic. Maryland again will look to push. Tolliver had it knocked loose by Weiner. Ends up with Harper's shot, no good. And here comes Duke the other way. Blocking foul called on Duran, trying to contain Harding on the penetration, and that is 3 on Shea Duran. So twice this year against Duke, Duran limited due to foul problems.
Watch how Duke is looking to push. If you don't stop Harding, she's going to keep going to the basket until somebody makes her change direction, and nobody does. Duran tries to get there, picks up the foul.
Frustrating senior night. Harding, fadeaway, no good. Carrem Gay. Holy smokes.
How about Carrem Gay? I mean, she comes in the game, Beth, and that's the game plan, was to let her have shots for Maryland. We watched their shoot around. They talked about leave her open, help out on the others.
Langhorne won't go. They were more concerned with after Gay missed that Duke wouldn't get any offensive rebounds. Well, Gay hasn't missed a whole lot. She's got a dozen on 6 of 9 shooting.
Of the 5 starters for Duke, Carrem Gay only takes about 6 shots a game on the average.
And now Debbie Duke will have to go small for a while because Bales has just picked up her 3rd personal, but the Blue Devils elect to keep her out there.
And now you got to go right inside the Langhorne because of that.
Harry. Foul is going to be called on Gay inside. So Gail Goestenkors will elect to keep Bales in the ballgame. And Gay now has 3 fouls as well.
Now that's not where Duke has their depth. They play 10 players. They've got 7 All-Americans over there, and their depth is on the perimeter.
So Gay and Bales with 3, and remember, as has been the case all year, they have been without the services of the injured Shantae Black, who had one of her best games of her career here in this building a year ago.
Now, she had 19 in here last year.
Jade Perry at the free throw line, 83% for Jade. She was scoreless in the first meeting. Gets 1 of 2. Bales, the quick outlet to Harding.
You got to turn Harding into a passer right now. You got to get on her quickly in transition, just like Newman did.
Gay, offensive foul. That is her 4th.
Wow. Carrem Gay having one of the best offensive nights of her young career, one of the most improved players in the ACC. And Crystal Langhorne did not get there. You know what? That's a lot of big girls trying to draw charges in this game.
That's 3 the bigs have taken already. So Gay is out with the foul problems. Joy Cheek comes on. Tolliver. Now the double out top on Marissa Coleman. Working it inside. Perry trying to attack Bales. Get her 4th foul. Coleman working on the offensive glass. Putback won't go. Newman keeps it alive.
And that's the kind of effort Maryland needs. They only had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. They've already got more than that in the second.
Got a fresh 30 to work with. Coleman drops it off for Langhorne. Nice look, and Langhorne with the finish.
Langhorne was 1 for 1 in the first half, Beth, and that's not enough. She is 1 for 3 in the second half already. That means she's getting the basketball in a position where she can try to score.
Coleman now with 5 assists tonight. Bales takes the bump, and the foul called on Jade Perry. That is her first.
You mentioned all the foul trouble, Beth. Look at Shantae Black from a year ago. 19 points last year in this building. At 6'5", she was supposed to help anchor that front line with Alison Bales, and she has not played all season. So not only did they graduate Monique Curry, their Kodak All-American, Jess Foley, and Misty Williams, who's playing in the WNBA, they also are without Shantae Black, who would have been their fourth starter. Yet they're 27-0. Undefeated, the only team left undefeated in the nation at number 1.
Well, and that's the Duke freshman this year, taking advantage of the opportunity. Joy Cheek is out there right now. We've seen Mitchell. We've seen Mitch. Nine-point lead. Tolliver way off the mark. Ping-ponging around. And the foul is going to be called on Newman. That'll be the first on Ashley, Debbie.
They've got to get some composure right here. Tolliver has got to make some better decisions with her shot selection and with the basketball in her hands. Now Maryland will go with 3 guards on the perimeter, and Coleman will play the power forward spot. So this is Maryland's small lineup on the floor.
Bales working on Langhorne. Alison Bales knocks it down on the baseline. That is her first field goal of the night. And Duke has its biggest lead now at 11. And at this end of the floor, Debbie, Maryland has hit just 4 of its last 17 shots.
Well, the zone has been so effective. You got to credit the Duke defense in the zone. Maryland's standing around a lot on the offensive end.
Langhorne so quick on the first step, and the blow by for 2.
There's no way that Alison Bales can check that. That is explosive, that first step. It's so quick off the dribble, you can't even bring the help.
Junior from Williamsboro, New Jersey. Count the basket, and Harding is fouled on the shot.
Lindsey Harding, 22 points, no layups, all pull-up jump shots. A very impressive offensive clinic by Lindsey Harding.
Early second half, Duke on top by double digits. Game today, and we asked her about playing against Maryland and playing in this kind of environment. And Debbie, she said, hey, this is why we came to Duke. We wanted to play in these kind of games. And as she had tremendous success against Maryland, all her career highs are against the Terps.
Well, she might be getting ready to set a new career high today against Maryland with her scoring ability. But the thing about Lindsey is that she doesn't play or give you less on the defensive end. What she gives you is more on the offensive end. She's the most complete guard in the country. There is not another guard in women's college basketball that plays both ends of the floor like Harding. There's others that might score more, that might have more assists, but not the whole stat line across the board.
We also asked her, what did you pick up from watching Elena Beard and Monique Curry and how they performed in big games? And she said, from them I learned when it was time to step up and step to the floor and take over a game. And she's been the most aggressive in their biggest games of the season this year.
She's taken the most shots against the best teams. That would be Maryland, North Carolina, and Tennessee as Tolliver knocks down her second triple.
46-37 Duke.
Better shot selection, better rhythm, better spacing, the right time to take it.
Bales, 16-footer, knocks it down.
You have to guard 6'7" all the way that far out because Bales, Gail Goestenkors will tell you, is their best 15-foot shooter.
Duke is 53% from the floor. They are playing without Carrem Gay in foul trouble. Maryland without Shea Duran in foul trouble. Coleman looking for back-to-back threes for the Terps, won't go.
And what I also find is interesting is that Duke's playing pretty much straight-up zone, Beth. They're not trapping, they're not pressing, they're not playing man-to-man, and they're able to pull away and extend their lead playing that zone.
Smith Gets it back from Bales. Wanisha Smith, and it goes. It was a lot of fun watching the shoot-arounds of these two teams. You know, in most instances, they don't have to worry too much about what the other team is doing. They spent an awful lot of time on the subtleties and the nuances of the opposition today at their shoot-arounds.
Well, it's the detail stuff, and when you get to this time of year, there's no secrets. They both know what each other's going to run, how they're going to run it, what their personnel can do.
Count the basket, Langhorne. Chance for the three-point play. That's going to be on Harding on the reach-in. Her first.
You look at right here, nice give and go. Bales, who is a terrific passer without pressure, drops it off to Wanisha Smith, and then a little backdoor move and a delivery to Langhorne, who is so strong on that side of the floor. Nobody can stop her from scoring on the left side.
8 points, 5 rebounds. She's 4 of 6. 20 different times this year she has shot better than 70% from the floor.
It's unbelievable. I mean, she's so close to being the best ever at shooting the ball from the floor.
Shaderon back out there now for Maryland.
But you want to go back to shoot-around, Beth. What I thought was impressive about Duke is Gail Goestenkors. No whistle, no paper. Everything was right up there at the top of her head, and she went over one play after another, and what she anticipated Maryland would run. That's watching a lot of tape.
Bridgette Mitchell with the offensive rebound and stick back. Tolliver starting to heat up now for Maryland. Give her 2 on that one. Christie now into double digits. Quick shot from Wanisha Smith. Maryland will run. Wiley Gatewood in transition. Coleman, runner, no good. Bales grabs another rebound. That's 7 for Allison. Comes up for Lindsey Harding, calling out the play for Duke. Oh, wide open. Lost the handle. Shot no good.
That's the closest she's been to the basket all game.
Harding down on the floor with Coleman. Held ball will go to Maryland.
It's about generating extra possessions right now for Maryland. You can't look at it as 10 points. If you can get it to single digits by about, or cut it in half by about the 8-minute mark, and you've got to be on the offensive glass, and you've got to try to turn Duke over. That's the way to get extra possessions for Maryland.
Abby Weiner checks out. She is still scoreless in this game, 0 for 3 from the floor, and Duke is up by 10. Maryland looking to make a run. Duran. Nailed that one in. Terps will keep it. 13 on the shot clock. Final home game for Shea Duran. Playing in front of a sellout, as Jen Hildreth reported earlier. Her first game here, 630 people showed up. They were a sub-500 team before Shea got here.
Only won 10 games, and she's the first recruit Brenda Free's got.
Tolliver deep. Bales able to tip it to her teammate. Harding across midcourt. Smith steps into the 3, no good.
The last couple of threes that Smith's taken have been bad shot selection.
Tolliver in transition, assist Duran.
He shoots a long triple, and it leads to the long rebound, and it allows Maryland to get going, and the last thing Duke wants to do is get this crowd in it.
Too late. Smith. Here comes Maryland again. Wiley Gatewood. Coleman dumps it off for Langhorne, and the foul on the floor will be on Harding. That's the second on Lindsey. 8-point Blue Devil lead. Maryland making a run at the Blue Devils. They're down by 8.
Here for the Duke-Maryland men's game a week ago, I asked DJ Strawberry if he had any advice for his women. Here's what he had to say.
Just beat Duke. You know, I'll be a fan and say just beat Duke. If you beat Duke, everything's okay.
Well, DJ said he loves watching the women play when he gets a chance. And I asked Gary Williams if there was a chance he might ever ever show up here in body paint a la Bruce Pearl at Tennessee? He said, I don't think so. That's not my style. But those guys definitely supporters of this Maryland women's team, Beth.
Well, thanks a lot, Jen. Well, they like what they're seeing right now. A 7-2 run for the Terps, trying to get back in it. They've been down by as many as 13 in this second half, which I believe matches the second half deficit from last year's national championship game, which Maryland, of course, rallied to win in overtime.
Yes, it does.
Talbert, no good on the fadeaway. Lindsey Harding, 23 points to lead all scorers, 20 of them coming in the first half, when she was nearly unstoppable.
And Juanisha Smith taking a seat. Gail Goestenkors didn't like the shot selection the last 3 trips down the floor out of Juanisha.
Bales around, Harper draws the foul. Alison Bales with a couple of head fakes, and she'll head to the free throw line. She is a 74% free throw shooter.
Such good skill out of Bales. Has really increased. She and Harding both. From their freshman year to now, every single year their offensive production has gone up. That's their off-season work ethic, and that's good coaching.
She is the top shot blocker in Duke history and ACC history. She's in the top 5 in NCAA history. And she is closing in on 1,000 points for her career. I want to round it out. 9-point Duke lead. Maryland with the ball. 10.5 to play.
She lost weight in the offseason. She runs the floor better.
Langhorne splits the defenders and scores.
Langhorne is so powerful, block to block.
11 for Langhorne on 5 of 7 shooting. Tolliver on her defensively. Bridgette Mitchell, no good mid-range. Maryland will take that all day.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a reason why you're open.
Harper. Looking to dish it off to Duran. And a timeout forced on Maryland. Bales and Harding teaming up. The seniors forced the timeout. 9:40 to go. Duke 53, Maryland 46 in front of 18,000 in College Park. The Blue Devils 27-0, the lone remaining unbeaten in the nation. Reminder coming up after our game, we've got Pac-10 hoops for you, Southern Cal and Arizona State. That follows our game here. That will be available in FSN HD. Talking about the touches for Krista Langhorne. She's touched it 7 times this half, and Maryland has scored on 4 of those possessions. Lindsey Harding with 23 to lead all scorers tonight. Foul going to be called on Brittany Mitch.
Let's see if Maryland can change the emotional level of their performance right here, Beth. They need a quality win. They've got to get a little synergy going right here, getting ready to move forward to the ACC tournament as well.
There are 3 losses to Duke, Carolina, and Georgia Tech on the year.
They've got to get it done on the defensive end. And I'll tell you something interesting. Brenda Freese and Gail Goestenkors both went to the Final Four before they won ACC tournament titles. And Brenda Freese has yet to win one, but she's got the national championship.
Banner hanging here in the rafters at Comcast Center on one end, the men's championship from 2002 on the other end, and Shea Duran, 4 personal fouls. She departs 4 points on just 4 shots tonight. Harding held in check in this second half, just 3 points since the intermission. And over the back foul called on the rebound, going to go against Joy Cheek, and Maryland will be in the bonus the rest of the way.
Blue Devils foul, number 21, Joy Cheek, her 3rd personal foul, and the team.
Both of these teams, Debbie, are MMTOA.
Yes, I like that, Beth.
In TV parlance, that is made more than opponent's attempt. And that would be at the free throw line, and that's a very good sign that you are the aggressor and that you are taking the ball strong to the bucket. 11 points and 9 rebounds for Krista Langhorne. missed the front end. Offensive rebound. Coleman, no good.
Not a good free throw shooter.
Harding looking for a screen. And then the pass inside the cheek. Not a good decision that time by Lindsey.
But a good defensive effort by Crystal Langhorne, because she gets out with the big hard hedge and then she recovers back on the slip. Good defense.
The pace has slowed down a little bit here. 8:40 to go. Coleman thought about the three. Bales got a piece of it.
Boy, Bales really can challenge from the middle of that zone.
The initial call was a held ball. I'm not sure if there was a foul now or not.
Look at Bales, comes all the way up from the middle of that zone to contest at the elbow. With her length at 6'7", she's got tremendous reach, and she certainly knows how to block shots. You've already chronicled that pretty well, Beth. She's only fouled out of one basketball game in her career and has all those shot blocking records. It's amazing.
It was a held ball, not a foul. Duke looking for Weiner. They've got just one basket now in the last 6 minutes as Maryland has put the clamps on them. Mitch with the steal. Joy Cheek. The skip to Weiner. He's got range.
I wonder who's going to score right now on the floor without Harding, and Cheek takes it strong, using the left.
Joy Cheek now with 4 points. The freshman giving Duke some quality minutes here tonight. Harper setting the screen. Tolliver now checked by Weiner.
Look how wide that zone is. The elbows are wide open for Maryland if they would just flash somebody to the high post.
Joy Cheek checks the defense, decides she'll give it a go on her own. The left-hander off glass. Duke by 9. Duke with the lead, 7:30 to play. The Blue Devils coming in 27-0 on the season. Now, there have been 4 teams previous in the NCAA era that have gone unbeaten en route to winning the national championship, most recently Connecticut in 2002.
Jody Conrad, Texas, the first to do it. Gino Auriemma has done it twice at Connecticut. Pat Summitt, that was the 3rd of 3 in a row for the Lady Vols.
Both teams shot better than 50% in the first half. They have not been as hot here in the second. Harding has been held in check, just 1 of 6 after that 20-point performance in the first half. And Duke's defense forces a timeout right out of the timeout.
Timeout Terrapins, a 30-second team timeout.
So Maryland will have 2 timeouts remaining with 7:30 to go. We've seen Wanisha Smith doing some work today, 7 points and 4 rebounds.
Well, this is, yeah, I like to call this the most underappreciated team in the ACC. These are players that don't get all the pub. Kirby Copeland might be one of the best off the bounce in the league. Alicia Gladden, one of the top rebounding guards in America for Sue Semrau at Florida State. How about Khadijah Whittington averaging a double-double, helps NC State win 7 of the last 8 since Kay Yow was returned to the bench. And Camille Little for North Carolina. She may be having the best year between Ivory Latta and Erlana Larkins for North Carolina.
With what she does, she should be considered for an All-American, I think, and whether or not that'll be the case, we'll see. 7:22 to go. Maryland will inbound with 6 on the shot clock.
This is the 3rd time they had to inbound the ball in this possession.
Smith almost got it. Maryland will keep it 1 second on the shot clock.
See, that's good defense. See, they've made Maryland, they've been so disruptive, has Duke, with their defense. To hold Maryland, the 2nd highest scoring team in the country, to 46 points when they average 84 a game. That's 20 or 40 below their average.
1 on the shot clock. for three, no good. Harper with the rebound. And she's called for the walk. We need to go back and recheck the math on that one. Was that? No, 20 or 40.
It's 40. Harper with the rebound. They're going to get called for travel. The double team by Duke. I don't know. I thought she had a pivot foot with her right foot.
I didn't see that one. Approaching 7 minutes to go. Abby Weiner still without a point in this game. Cheek had it, lost it. Maryland will get it. Langhorne has been solid in this second half. The rest of the Maryland offense has struggled, Debbie. They have now hit just one of their last 11 three-point attempts, starting to rely on that a little bit.
Well, that's the zone by Duke, and then the turnover on the double team.
And Coleman gets it right back. Coleman over Bales for two. Looking to light a fire for Maryland.
I would like to see Lindsey Harding take this next field goal attempt for the Blue Devils. Them back in some sort of sync offensively. She's been quiet.
Harding scoops it up and in.
Calling her number.
Unbelievable shot from Harding, and it goes.
She can turn the corner off that horns.
Bales reaches in, gets the deflection.
Such great feel for rhythm does Harding have. We're going to go back to the same play right here and go to what works.
Cheek the lob to Bales, the catch and the layup.
See, Harding sets that up, Beth. The last time down, she turns the corner on the elbow. This time, Bales slips. They run their high-low game. It's confidence in their ability to execute.
Maryland cuts the deficit to 7, and then Duke pumps it right back up again. Oliver walked. Blue Devils. Boy, when the game's on the line, Lindsey Harding's got it in her hand.
This is what we showed you at the beginning of the game. Guarding Harding off the horns, off the elbow, and then watch right here. Bales is going to set the screen, then she's going to slip to the bucket. The pass is going to come out to Cheek, and then the high-low game is going to happen right here. The slip. Langhorne recovers. Harper tries to rotate down. It's hard to help in the shoots.
Duke has it again as we approach 5 minutes to go. Carrem Gay from the elbow. No good. Collision on the rebound. I believe it's going to be called on Christy Tolliver. She got tied up with Abby Weiner.
And this is a juncture where Maryland's got to change their energy. Show a sense of urgency. Tolliver boxing out hard, picks up the foul. Wainer's going to the line.
Weiner looking for her first points tonight. She's got 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Second leading scorer on this team. Missed it. Coleman through traffic. Tolliver for 2. Coleman. Tremendous work on the glass.
You know what? She's working. You're absolutely right. And she looks like the only one right now that shows any sort of sense of urgency for Maryland. She's been all over the offensive boards all game. She's been strong off the dribble. Last year's ACC Rookie of the Year. Last year, the best three-point shooter in the nation. Strong rebounding on the weak side, and you can see the versatility in her game and why she had a triple-double earlier this season.
And she has drawn the 4th foul on Bales with 4:51 to go. Coleman, 8 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive end. She's got 10 points, and now Shea Duran will re-enter. Duke will elect to keep Bales out there with 4:51 to go and the 4 fouls.
Goestenkors trusting what we said before. Bales has only fouled out of 1 basketball game in her career.
In a tight game, Maryland shooting just 50% from the free throw line tonight.
You can't knock off the #1 team if you don't do those kind of things. Making free throws, taking care of the detail stuff.
Duke will go right at Duran, and Juanisha Smith called for the travel. Shea held her ground. Deficit, 4.5 to play.
Just good communication out of the zone.
Down the shot clock. The skip to Coleman. Shoots over Carrem Gay. Langhorne, another offensive rebound. And the foul called on the floor. On Wanisha Smith. That is her first. So Langhorne will go back to the free throw line. Crystal's 1 for 2 tonight.
And Duke hasn't had to show off any of their fancy defense tonight. No trapping or pressing or any of that stuff. They've been able to stay in the zone. They haven't had to change. Maryland has not been able to adjust offensively.
And now under 50% from the free throw line. Harding. 25 points tonight for Lindsey. Short, Gay, offensive rebound, left hand up and in.
That's just out working for a 50-50 ball. Carrem Gay, she's one of the most improved players in the ACC.
14 points for Carrem. Second most of anybody in the game. Wiley Gatewood. The kick out, Taliver, 3, won't go. They are now 3 of 15 in the game. Gay tried to fill the lane, couldn't hang on. Maryland with the advantage the other way. Coleman.
You can't over-penetrate against Bales, and she forces you to hit medium-range jump shots. Anybody else Coleman would have gone to the rim on, but not Bales, who's anchoring the back of that defense, even though she has 4 fouls.
3:16, time running out on the Terps in College Park. Devils leading Maryland. Carrem Gay having herself a day.
So much for the so-called weak link in the Duke offense. Carrem Gay, 14 points. We've never had a highlight package on Carrem Gay before. Look at her score on the inside. Aggressive, knowing that she had to be a factor on the glass, playing defense, being a counter to what Alison Bales brings on the inside. She wasn't even supposed to get anywhere near these kind of minutes this season because Shante Black has been out all year. Carrem Gay has really elevated her play all year.
She's been in the starting lineup throughout. Taliver won't go down. The three-point shooting woes continue from Maryland. They were 3 of 21 in the first meeting against Duke. They're 3 for 16 tonight. Under 3 minutes to go now. The Blue Devils looking to keep their undefeated season going.
And they've been able to manage the clock. They've made plays. They get deep into the shot clock, and they give it to Harding, and they get out of the way. But she's got to do that.
Knocks it down for 2 more. 27 points, 1 shy of her career high, which she posted on the Terps earlier this year.
And let me repeat, no layups. All medium range pull-up jump shots. Very impressive out of Lindsey Harding tonight.
And the 2-3 defense has taken its toll on Maryland as Coleman hits the runner. They get over 50 points. They scored 62 on Duke in the first meeting. That's their lowest total of the season. They'll have some work to do to get there tonight. Under 2 minutes to play. In front of a packed house at the Comcast Center. Bales, catch and release.
Very impressive balance out of the Blue Devils. A strong mindset. Nice pinch on the inside. Ducks in, stays with it, and finishes at the rim.
Another double-double against Maryland for Alison Bales. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. 2 of her 5 this year have come against the Terps.
This Duke defense held North Carolina, the top scoring team, who was nearly 90 points a game, to 53. They've got the second best scoring team in the nation right now at 51.
Duke at 12-0. Their last game, their only remaining game, is hosting North Carolina next weekend. Maryland just has 1 more game on the slate as well. They have a week off before visiting Boston College. NC State has the tiebreaker with Florida State if they tie for that 4th spot, and that would get them a bye in the first round of the ACC tournament.
What a fantastic job Gail Goestenkors has done all season. Picked to finish 3rd in this league. Best start in the history of the ACC. 6 consecutive codex, and she's going to have a 7th. And she's going to have to replace him again. Not bad for somebody who started out working at Arby's and then went on to the brewery and was homecoming queen in high school. Blue-collar background, grew up in Michigan. Not afraid of any work, that's for sure. And has designed a blue-collar defensive effort, especially today when they've been able to stay in that zone all game and hold Maryland well below their scoring average. It's not 40 anymore. Now it's more like 30, Beth.
I like the working in the brewery on the resume.
I like that, too.
From humble beginnings up in Michigan. Carrem Gay trying to kick it back outside.
I bet she could make a mean beef and cheddar back in her day, too.
66-51 Blue Devils. Now, I think we have a lost contact lens. Well, Carrem Gay actually is holding her shoulder, a shoulder that she had surgery on in the offseason. Well, as well as she played, well, you don't want to see her become on the injured reserve list. Over there on that sideline, getting looked at by the
now Wayner's
staff.
Duke is now over the limit on team foul.
If you saw, let's see if we can figure out what it was they were trying to come out the crowd with it.
She's got that wrap on that shoulder. See just the resistance of Coleman sticking a hand out in the passing lane, or excuse me, Langhorne sticking a hand in the passing lane. Hurt that shoulder. She's going to go back to the locker room.
Terrific day today for Carrem with 14 points. The second leading scorer for the Blue Devils. And it speaks to the balance of this Duke team. If you saw what Abby Wayner did on Tennessee earlier this year when she lit up the Lady Vols for 24 points, they are doing this without her services offensively today. She is scoreless, has contributed 5 rebounds and 4 assists, and yet they are still up double digits.
Oh, it's incredible the balance that Duke has. You always start talking about their defense, but offensively, they've got a terrific leader in Lindsey Harding who knows how to answer the 3 W's of a point guard. Who to get it to, when to get it to, and where. And she called her own number an awful lot. Didn't wait till the game got going to take over. She started from the get-go. 9 for 10 in the first half with 20 first half points. And no layups for a guard. That's just an incredible offensive performance.
In their last 4 games against ranked opponents, Harding averaging 21 points per game. And for the 3rd time in her career, she sets a new career high against Maryland. 29 today for Lindsey Harding. 12 of 19 from the floor, very efficient.
She's taken the most field goal attempts this season against the top teams, North Carolina, Maryland, and Tennessee. And there you finally see her crack a little bit of a smile because she knows that she was on fire to start the game.
I know she doesn't want to think about it and has a lot of business to tend to before the WNBA draft, but Debbie, she certainly has put her name on the list for a #1 pick.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, depends on what happens through free agency and what the needs are, but she will be one of the top people in the drafts after the Final Four. She'll be the top guard picked.
Shea Duran today, her last game at home here at the Comcast Center. Limited by some foul problems today. And it does not appear like they will get the win over the Blue Devils. But there is still the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament to deal with for Shea.
I think Maryland's still searching for their offensive identity. They've got 5 players in double figures, Beth. But when they get in the big game, they don't have that one player that steps up. And Langhorne would be that. but you got to have a guard that's willing to give her the basketball. Langhorne should have the most touches and the most field goal attempts on this team.
Langhorne with 8 shots. Tolliver and Coleman had 16 and 17. And you mentioned the 11 assists, a season low in the first matchup. They've only got 12 here tonight.
37 minutes of play for Lindsey Harding and only 2 turnovers in the game to go with all that offense that you've already mentioned.
The Duke Blue Devils will stay undefeated and start preparations on a matchup at sold-out Cameron Indoor Stadium next Sunday against North Carolina. Langhorne wraps it around for 2 more. Maryland will fall to 25-4, 9-4 in the league.
Incredible. And this Maryland team last year that won the national championship, they played 4 games in overtime on the road in the ACC and won them all. They showed some resilience and some ability to bounce back. They didn't have any of that today in the second half.
Maryland has the tiebreaker over Florida State and NC State. So it looks like North Carolina will finish second in the league. And with this win today, the Duke Blue Devils win the ACC regular season championship. Preseason pick to finish 3rd in the conference behind Maryland and North Carolina. And the Blue Devils stay perfect, 28-0. And they win the ACC regular season championship. And they do it on the road, defeating Maryland in front of a sold-out crowd, 69-57, behind a career-high 29-point performance from Lindsey Harding. Back to College Park after this. 57, Duke a winner over Maryland. Jen Hildreth standing by with some triumphant Blue Devils.
Well, Coach, I know that the young lady standing next to you was the story of the first half, but what would you say was the story of the second half and the way your team got this win?
I think we just persevered. I mean, it was 2 great teams going at it. And I thought we did a little bit better job in the second half defensively. We got after it, and I thought we were just a smarter team. You know, we had 10 turnovers in the first half, and those were 10 opportunities, not that we couldn't score. And we were shooting a good percentage, so we felt like if we could take care of the basketball, be a little bit smarter with when to push it, when to pull it back out, we'd be all right.
And it certainly helps. I know you've said you look to your seniors in tight situations. When Lindsey's having a night like she did tonight, it's easy to look to her, isn't it?
Yeah, she did a great job as always. She really set the tone for us. On both ends of the floor, and in the first half in particular, she was open. She was taking what they gave her and making the most of it.
Okay, Lindsey, move on over to you now. You got a lot of your points from pull-up jumpers. Did you anticipate you'd have to do a little more of that rather than getting to the hoop as much as you usually do?
Yeah, the first time we played them, I was able to get to the basket a lot, so I was watching film and thinking that they would probably try to cut that off. So I was trying to penetrate and skip it. I had to open jumpers, so I was taking them.
And it certainly helps when you have a teammate like Carrem Gay come in. She had a great night. We certainly hope her shoulder is okay, but how much does that make your team better when you get a contribution like you got from her tonight?
It's great. She plays great defense for us. I mean, Langhorne is a great player, and she was guarding her most of the night, so I think we kept her under control because of her, but she did a great job coming in there for us.
All right, well, congratulations, Lindsey. ACC regular season title wrapped up. Let's go to you, Beth.
Thank you very much, Jen. And a career-high 29 points today for Lindsey Harding. She led the charge and really kept Maryland at bay all night long.
I mean, it was an unbelievable offensive performance. She was so good at scoring the basketball and getting inside the middle of that Maryland defense. And then the balance around Duke. That's how good they are. Abby Wayner didn't have a field goal. It's just amazing that the leading scorer for the Blue Devils could knock off Maryland on the road and clinch the ACC tournament or ACC regular season title without Wayner being a factor.
So Duke continues on their way unbeaten, 28-0. A matchup next Sunday with North Carolina to end the regular season for Gail Goestenkors and company. Coming up next, Pac-10 College Hoops, Southern Cal and Arizona State. You've been watching ACC basketball on your home for ACC College Hoops FSN. For Debbie Antonelli and our entire crew, I'm Beth Mowins. Good night from College Park.